So do you ever look around and you're seeing dishes in the sink all piled up on the counters, there's laundry piling up, the children's schoolwork is spread out all over your kitchen table, there's toys everywhere, and you've got to run your kids to the dentist, and then later they have these activities to get to, and you actually would sort of like to maybe do something for you today, but how is that even going to happen? This is a common problem for parents, and especially for homeschooling parents, because your kids are with you all the time. And the household chores are never ending. The taking your children to activities, it's just never ending. You can get things done one day and the next day, there it all is again. So this is exactly why I want to discuss minimalism with you. Now, don't turn this off just because of the word minimalism. You don't have to become a total minimalist. And I want to explain a little bit how I view minimalism here in a moment. But if you can just sort of wrap your mind around this idea and take even bits and pieces of it, I promise you it will help you, and it will help you feel more peaceful and more calm. So before I go on, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Jackie, and I am the founder of Homeschool Think Tank. And years ago, I discovered minimalism. By the way, I am a longtime homeschooling mom as well. And I'm a certified life coach. So I help parents with all the things, with homeschooling, with life, with a lot of different things. So if you ever want help, be sure to reach out to me. But here's how I discovered minimalism. This is over a decade ago now. But my husband had the opportunity to maybe take a position that would have opened up his sales territory between the Southwest where we live all the way to California and Alaska. And we were already homeschooling our kids. So I thought, wow, if he does this, we could travel and become road schoolers, at least in this half of the United States. And really, our thought process wasn't necessarily that we'd be moving all the time, but it's we could get a big RV and go and stay in one area for 2 or 3 months and then try out another area for 2 or 3 months, just sort of whatever felt good to us, right? So we actually went through the entire process to prepare for this road schooling lifestyle. We started purging our house, and I started reading and learning a lot about minimalism because I realized, okay, if we're going to go from living in, a 2,200 square foot house to a fifth wheel, we're going to have to get rid of a lot of stuff. So we went through this moment where we just purged the whole house. We went through and we came up with so much stuff. That summer, as we were preparing for this, we had 3 yard sales, and I even narrowed down my closet to see for my summer wardrobe. And I think I had measured out 12 or 18 inches. I had everything I was going to wear, and I did it that whole summer. I was yep, I can do this. I can actually live with less. Now, long story short, we did not end up doing this. Honestly, one of the biggest regrets of my life, because that would have been an amazing, it was an amazing opportunity, and I chickened out. So, and now I can see why I did that. If you ever want to try that on, please talk to me. I will definitely help you. Make a decision that you don't look back and you're oh, so wish we would have done that. Anyway, but what that did is it changed my life, forever. I started realizing that I had so much stuff, and I was constantly organizing and cleaning, and I would try to declutter a little bit. It wouldn't stay that way, and I started realizing how much we weigh ourselves down, quite literally, with stuff. And we literally waste our lives on accumulating things, organizing things, cleaning things that we don't really even love or use. So this had a profound impact on me and my family. And I learned that I could live with a lot less. And when I had less, I could actually do more. And I also learned that I was putting an awful lot of stock into what I had instead of who I was. And at the end of the day, it's all about who we are. It's not about all the things we have. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to have nice things. I like to be able to get what I want when I want it, within reason, I suppose. And I want to be able to get things for the people I love if I want to. I want these options, but I also know for a fact I don't want a ton of stuff. I just don't. So this really, I'm not a minimalist. I lean toward minimalism, but I want to help you understand how I see minimalist homeschooling. Now, some people might consider minimalist homeschooling, they're really just considering the homeschooling curriculum and like, how can we do this with less? And that's all good and great. But to me, minimalism is an entire lifestyle, and it's about becoming intentional with your life. It's about making decisions thoughtfully. So I'll give you an example here. Back behind me, you can see this pillow on this couch. I bought this pillow just the other day. I had other pillows there. I didn't particularly love them. I just had them. Actually, I think my husband had bought them at some point. But right now, I'm sort of going through this change of, I've sort of decorated the same way for probably 20 years now. And I just want things a little different. So I'm being a little thoughtful about what I get, but I really think about it. Like, I really do love these pillows. Like, I think they're so pretty, the pillows I just bought. And I really do want them. But I'm also, when I'm purchasing something, I'm thinking through, like, how long will I keep this? And so long as we keep this house and the furniture that's in it, I see me having it probably a decade. I don't really see me changing them out anytime soon. But what I do when I'm shopping is I'm actually thinking through, and I don't always do this perfectly, but I do it a lot. And I definitely never did it before I went through that other experience. I try to think through the purchase of something through the end of its life, whether it's going in the trash into a landfill, or I'm donating it to somebody, or maybe I'm selling it. But I do try to think through, like, how long am I actually going to keep this? What am I really going to do with this? Could that pillow go somewhere else in the house if I get tired of it in this room? So I'm just being more aware of my purchases and the impact it has on our environment ultimately. But minimalism to me it's not just about the stuff. It's also about your time. It's about thinking about what really matters to you. And actually, before you make any, like, we all just make decisions all the time. But if you can pause and take a breath, and I mean, like, think about this, and not just in a day, but maybe over the course of a month, where you're journaling, you're thinking, you're evaluating, you're prioritizing, and you're thinking through, what do I want from my life? What do I want for my family? You're truly making conscious decisions about the type of person you want to be, the type of parent you want to be, how you want to raise your family. And you start prioritizing what's actually important to you. And I'm going to tell you right now, for me, I am at the top of my list, because if I don't take care of myself, nobody else is going to do it. I mean, yes, my husband's loving and he's caring and he's going to care for me, but it's up to me to take care of myself, of my brain, of my body, and to decide with intention how I want to show up in this world, who I want to be, how I want to impact other people. So that to me is so important to consider, like, what contributions do you want to make in this world? And what differences do you want to make to other people? whether it be people you don't know, just like I'm doing this for you. I probably don't know you. I might, but, or with your children or with extended family or friends or within your community. How do you want to help others? This is part of having a purpose-driven life, right? You are deciding the impact you want to have. So, and then from there, everything else starts falling into place. You start realizing like, okay, I'm at the top of the list. Then it's my family, obviously, right? So at least for me, that's obvious. So my family's gonna come before my work, but I get to prioritize, say, working out over something else if I want to. Now, clearly I'm gonna work it around other people when I can, but sometimes you can't. So you're making these decisions all the time, right? And it's the same with homeschooling. When you're homeschooling your kids, I think it's really important to understand the different ways we educate our children, to separate in your mind schooling from education. And I have an entire article about different styles of homeschooling, and I'm pretty sure I have another video about different styles of homeschooling as well. So once you understand the different approaches that people take, which all the approaches people take are just a way that somebody made up that worked for them and they shared it with others, right? Or there are a group of people that are like, hey, this works really well. And so we share it with others. But you become intentional about how you want to educate your children. You're thinking that through. And once you sort of have a thought process about how you want to educate your kids, now you can make choices that align with that. And thereby reducing the number of items that you have to buy, or maybe the number of things that you need to sign up for, or you're signing up with intention because you're like, you know what? Yes, this does align with my values, my priorities, and for myself and my family. So to become a minimalist is to say, in my opinion, that you are becoming intentional. You're becoming intentional with how you spend your time, with how your space is arranged for you, with the things that you buy, with the curriculum that you choose. And here's something that's actually coming to mind for me. I very much made an intentional decision about this when my children were younger, with toys. I pretty much didn't buy my kids toys that had batteries. They had train tracks, they had blocks, they had horse figurines and different animal figurines. If they had a toy with a battery, somebody else bought it. And I generally got rid of them pretty quickly. I can think of a couple of exceptions where those toys actually were really great. But to me, the toys needed to be multi-purpose. They couldn't just be used in one setting. They needed to be able to be used in lots of different ways and in conjunction with one another. So that was something I was very intentional about as a mother with my children. Like, yeah, generally speaking, the battery operated toys just didn't really offer a whole lot for their creativity and offering them different ways to think. So anyway, I think if you can consider minimalism and you can start thinking about how could you make your life more simple, it'll be life-changing for you. And I want to suggest there are basically two ways I think that are really great for specifically parents to start with minimalism. I actually think a great place to start, I suppose there's three great places in my opinion. One is your kitchen. If your kitchen is not functioning and like on autopilot every day where it's an absolute routine you wake up to a clean kitchen and you end with a clean kitchen, then you probably need to declutter your kitchen. That's a great place to start if you want to start in a family area. I always think it's great to start with ourselves, as the parents, like your own personal things. And most of the time, a lot of times we go straight to our children's things, which there's a place for that too, because I do think we should start with ourselves first, if you can. But sometimes your kids genuinely do have so much stuff that you do need to go to their stuff and just start paring it down quickly. Let me give you a quick tip for paring children's things down. What I did when my children were younger is I actually, I would have them do what they could, depending on their age, but I would actually go through their rooms when they weren't home, like when they were at a grandparent's house, and I would declutter their rooms. But I didn't just get rid of it. I would mostly put all the stuff that I was pretty sure they would not miss in one box to be donated, but I would put it under our stairwell. And then in another box tub was the stuff I was like, maybe they might want this back. So if they actually started looking for something, I would actually go get it back out, because that told me it was something they really used, wanted, and needed. Need is subjective, but at any rate, it's something they really wanted. But what I did not do is I would not let them look in that tub. At some point, they knew Mom had the tub of stuff. I never let them look in it, because as soon as they see it all, they remember it and they want it. They had to actually specifically ask for the item for me to get it out. So and then I might hold it for a month or so, maybe even 2. And then whatever hadn't been requested, I got rid of, and it was not a problem. So that's just a quick tip. If you want help with decluttering, whether it be your space, your time, or prioritizing, or even, let's say you overshop. We overshop for a reason. I can help you work through that. So you can go to homeschoolthinktank.com and sign up for a free consultation with me. And during that consultation, I promise you, I will help you. And then at the end of that time, our time together, if you're interested in working with me, I can tell you more about the services that I offer. But if you're not, that's okay. You will still leave with more tools than you had before and some really good ideas to help you start on your journey toward minimalism. All right, that's it for today. Again, my name is Jackie, and I am the founder of Homeschool Think Tank. So go to homeschoolthinktank.com to learn more, or check the link just beneath this video, and you can learn more about working with me and signing up for that free consultation. Also, I do have a really good free course all about homeschooling, and it's really like the high level ideas that can make a significant difference in your homeschool. All right, so homeschoolthinktank.com for everything. Bye-bye. We'll see you soon.